outer space, in outer space, in outer space, 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 in outer space, in outer space, in outer space.
All right. Welcome to episode 00009 of the Vast Differences podcast. I'm ThugLife.
I'm Charity, and
today we're going to talk about
muscles.
Robot automobiles. But first, live on air, for the first time ever, ThugLife is going to eat a full pouch of instant chocolate quinoa. Oh, no. I did not think it was going to explode everywhere. Oh no,
that
into
was
the rug.
really funny to see.
Oh no, I just wanted to be dramatic. I didn't think it was going to explode. I didn't know it was pressure packed into this pouch. Okay, I'm going to eat a little bit. Try it.
How does it taste?
I don't know if it's supposed to be eaten raw. Preparación, direcciones. I don't know, I'm supposed to boil it first. Okay, so this was an all-around disaster. I just wanted to have more electrolytes in my body because last week I was so lethargic. So this time I'm drinking high fructose corn syrup and I was going to eat some quinoa. But I am literally covered in quinoa and it's all over my house.
How does it feel on your skin? Do you feel like you're exfoliating?
Yeah, a little bit. With chocolate powder.
Quinoa exfoliation.
Quinoa is healthy.
Brought to you
too.
by VD Podcast.
The Vast Differences podcast is the podcast where ThugLife and Charity discuss all the vastly different topics in the world and come to the inevitable conclusion that they're all the same thing. But first, an advertisement from our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by MG Rechargeable AAA Batteries. MG Batteries. Da-da-da-da! Charge! Legal disclaimer. Batteries are provided as is without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of merchantability, non-infringement of intellectual property, or fitness for any particular purpose. In no event shall the manufacturer or his suppliers be liable for any damages whatsoever, including without limitation damages for loss of profits, business interruption, loss of information, sickness, and or death, rising out of the use or inability to use the batteries, even if the manufacturer has been advised of the possibility of such damages. Because some jurisdictions prohibit the exclusion or limitation of liability.
Wait a second. Time out. Does it feel like we're selling out? I mean, I was happy to take Smash Mouth the Band's money and the Chamber of Commerce from South Dakota, but this is a lot of disclaimer. I don't want to injure our
No, I think it's funny because it's like the things that you have to read really fast in order to
You were reading it really fast. That sounds like I sped it up, but I absolutely did not speed that up. That was real time me reading it. I don't know. I feel bad though. I feel like we're selling out. I'm gonna give their money back and we'll get a real sponsor next time.
But I like reading things fast.
I mean, okay, yeah. I'm doing it for the love of podcasting, but it's okay if we get a little money here and there.
Yeah.
I think our fans understand it. Plus, every person who's listening to this ad, send us an email and we will split the ad money equally between you all. Uh-oh. That's not going to work because we'll have many more of your listeners in the future. Anybody who listens to it on the first day we put it out, which is Monday, December 4th. If you're listening to this December 4th, send an email to vastdifferences@gmail. Wait, what's our email address? vastdifferencepodcast@gmail.com, and we will split the ad money with you equally. That's a promise.
For this advertisement.
Uh-huh. Pays to be a day one fan of the Vast Difference podcast. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You can continue reading fast if you'd like.
Okay. Because some jurisdictions prohibit the exclusion or limitation of liability for consequential or incidental damages, the above limitation may not apply to you. Okay, that's a nice.
All right. So, what was your topic?
Muscles.
Muscles. All right.
Yeah.
What's up with muscles?
What is not up with muscles? I mean, they are everything. They are everything. Well, they're not in every part of you. Did you know? I just learned this yesterday. Did you know that there are no muscles in your fingers?
That's not true.
That is so
there
true.
are absolutely muscles in my fingers.
There are no muscles in your fingers. Otherwise, your fingers will get colossally huge every time you keep using them. But no, man. All the muscles that are used to move your fingers are in the palm of your hand and in your forearm. Everything in your fingers are just
ligaments,
bones and tendons.
Okay, well,
you've
never led me astray before, Charity. I'm going to believe you this time also.
But think about it. If muscles were in your fingers and some people use their fingers
Yeah. I mean, but that's just how life is, though. I mean, like some people, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, have enormous biceps, and regular people don't because he uses his more and uses tons and tons of steroids.
Oh yeah. Well, he used to. I don't know if he does anymore. He doesn't look like he uses.
That's true.
If he does use them now, then they are just like not the best steroids. So he's like an advertisement for which steroids to not use. Yeah, muscles are weird because like humans are the only animals that I know of that do exercise. They go into this one room and they work on these machines in order to build muscle. And then they are very sore for the next few hours and maybe even the next day. And they're really proud of it. And then their muscles get bigger. And you have to do all this stretching and stuff to work them out. I am very muscle attuned right now because I just got done with a tournament this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
And my calf muscles are just, they're not happy. I think they're very angry with me. I don't know what I did to offend them so much, but they are just like, we will not make this easy for you for the rest of your days.
But then in a couple of days, they'll be happy that you did. I mean, you broke down some of the fibers, but that just only causes them to get stronger, and then they'll be able to run faster, jump higher, catch more frisbees in the future. And so,
yeah, but tell that to my calf muscles right now. They're just
screaming for no reason.
In the war frame of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've been getting into it recently also. I don't know if you can tell via Skype, but I've been trying to get really swole. I had 3 goals while I was here in Peru. One goal was to learn to dance salsa, which I've been going to bi-weekly classes. Other goal was to get a song that I wrote onto the radio, which I'm working on that too. And third goal was to get totally buff. So I've been going to a gym 2 or 3 times a week. And at first, this little old man came up and he was like, all right, like he was talking to me really gruff, kind of like Rocky's trainer. He's like, okay, you're going to do 20 of these 3 times. And I'm like, okay. And so I started doing all these workouts and stuff with him. He's like, okay, now 20 of these 3 times. And he was having me do all these exercises. I was like, hey, thanks, old man. I appreciate it. And after like the 4th time, he was like, look, I like being your trainer, but you're going to have to give me a tip. I just didn't understand that was, I mean, he was just an old man. I just thought he was just having fun, like telling me to do workouts. But it turned out he was like, he had hired himself to be my trainer. And I entered into an unspoken contract with him. I was like, okay, yeah, how much do you want? And he told me, and so it's a good price. And so now he's my official trainer, and I give him a tip every time. And
man.
But it's really been, I've been seeing good effects. Like most of my shirts don't fit anymore. And I started dating this girl that is significantly better looking than me. And better looking than any girl that's ever paid attention to me before, just for having a little bit of muscle. I didn't know it was going to be so easy, or I would have worked out a lot sooner. But, so yeah, no, I really encourage anybody who's thinking about trying to get swole, go for it. It'll change your life.
Swole is such a weird word, too.
It is.
Why? How did that become the definition of getting... Well,
ripped.
I guess it replaced getting ripped, which is also a weird way to say it.
Getting buff.
Getting buff. There's no...
Getting jacked.
Jacked. There's no normal way to say get more muscles, get more muscular.
Experience muscular growth.
God.
It doesn't have the same ring to it when you're talking to your bro.
I know.
What's up, brosif?
I want to experience muscular growth. Yeah, man.
I can't believe I'm buried in a whole pile of quinoa and chocolate powder. What an idiotic thing for me to do to start this episode. Well, I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah,
how the pouch exploded
I saw
and
it.
now like I'm completely...
I also saw the look on your face when you were bathed in quinoa.
And I'm just thinking how much work this is going to be to clean up. Vacuum cleaners don't exist in Peru.
But it looked like a small packet though, so it shouldn't be that bad. And at least you won't have to worry about waking up your neighbors.
True. All right, so muscles. Well, I'm glad that you're feeling muscular pain right now because that just means that you're going to be even more dominant at Frisbee tournament next weekend. So, no pain.
There's no more tournaments until spring.
Oh, really?
Gosh, because my body is like, I put my body through the ringer. It's like, yes, rest for like 3 months. Don't do anything, but I'm going to do something. I'm not going to let it rest too much. What was your topic?
Robot cars. So self-driving automobiles.
Why?
Because this week I got into an accident. My Uber driver ran over somebody.
What?
I know, it was intense.
Story time.
So got into the car, Peruvian Uber driver, but I noticed his Siri was speaking to him in Japanese. And so I was like, what? Konbanwa, genki desu ka? Anata no namae wa nan desu ka? Doko kara kimashita ka? And like started talking to him in Japanese. And so he was listening to music, listening to Siri tell him where to go, and also talking to me in Japanese. All of a sudden, a lady and her husband were walking across the street, and Uber driver just ran into her. And so he looked at the guy. Everybody was just staring at each other really intense. The lady kind of had a look like she was about to cry in her face. She wasn't like mortally injured. She was just like really shook up that she just got hit by a car. And after like 10 seconds of silence, the Uber driver was like, "Pardon." And he kind of just pulled off.
What?
Yeah. But anyway.
They didn't do anything?
No, they didn't do anything. It's kind of the Wild West here in Peru as far as like, I don't think that they would have got legal people involved. I would have expected them to try to like extort him or something. But they just maintained really serious eye contact for like 30 seconds and then he drove off slowly. So that was it. But anyway, as Eric Schmidt said, it is a bug that cars were invented before computers. We just do not have the focus to be able to process so many different variables at all times and drive this giant machine of kinetic deathmobile around. I mean, it's so dangerous and so many people die in automobile accidents. So luckily, Google and Uber and several other companies, the high-end cars, Lexus and BMW, are all developing their self-driving car capabilities. And very soon, I think we'll be surprised at how soon self-driving cars are everywhere. I'd say in 2 years, we're all driving in self-driving cars. We
2
call it 2 years.
That's a lofty goal.
It is, but I mean, we'll time it. What day is today? Is November 27th, 2018? What year? 17. In 2019.
It's 2017.
In 2019, I guarantee you that are listening to this podcast right now, Steven, you're riding in a self-driving car, aren't you?
You're going to freak somebody out.
I know.
Well, I guess they deserve to be freaked out for listening to a podcast for 2 years ago.
And having it even called Steven. But yeah, no, so I mean, Elon Musk is developing this. Google also has Waymo. And just computers are getting so sophisticated these days, artificial intelligence, that we're just going to hand it over to computers. And that's great because then we can just rest and relax while we're driving. There won't be traffic because cars can merge properly. There'll be less pollution because the cars can drive super close together, thus cutting down air resistance and needing more fuel. There'll be lots less automobile accidents. But the only problem is at some point there'll be a situation where the car cannot avoid a crash and the car has to make a decision. Do I kill the person in the car or do I run into the person? Like if the only two choices are run directly into a brick wall or run over a person, how does the car decide which person to kill? Probably the car will decide to kill the other person because you're the paying customer and so it has to protect you.
Exactly.
That brings up some serious ethical dilemmas. What happens if it has to either hit one person or the other person? How does it judge? Based on age? Does it like scan their face and see which one is more important in their life, which one has children, stuff like that, and decide who to kill?
You're getting into the trolley question.
Yeah, I saw a video of this little kid doing that. So the dad set it up. There's a track where a trolley either had to run over one person or run over 5 people, and it was a little baby. And a little baby, bless his heart, what it did was it picked up the one off the one side of the track and moved it to the other side of the track, and then ran all over all of them. At first, you thought the baby was like, "Oh, the heart of a child, so tender, so loving," that moved somebody out of the way so the train could pass without running over anybody. But no, he wanted carnage. Is that what AI is going to turn into?
Probably. Oh, but then, like all these self-driving cars, you have to realize that not everyone will have a self-driving car. Not everyone's going to want to relinquish that control. So you're going to have like a mixture of self-driving cars and human-driven cars. So that brings to the question, are we going to have like special roads designed for self-driving cars?
Yeah.
We're going to have like new laws that will prohibit self-driving cars from certain times or human-driven cars from other certain times?
Yeah, both. Really good question. The first thing, it'll be like the HOV lane. We'll have a lane just for self-driving cars. And all the suckers that are stuck in the slow lane are going to be like, man, I wish I was in the self-driving car, not getting into accidents, getting to my destination faster. And that'll really help public acceptance. But eventually, because part of the key of self-driving cars not crashing into other things is that they all communicate with each other. It doesn't work with people's normal cars. And so it's going to be most effective if everybody drives self-driving cars. And because of that, at some point, the government is going to mandate that everybody has to drive self-driving cars. no human driving allowed.